Hello friends, thank you so much for joining me here again at Non-Toxic Home. I apologize for the picture quality this morning. It's early, but I want to get this out there. Now, some of you may be wondering if the second seal is opened. Some of America is basically turning into a war zone right now. This is planned. The government leaders are coming out clearly saying that this is organized. Now, if this was simply random people or even small local organizations speaking out about racial injustice, this would not be so highly organized and this would not be happening in all the cities like it is. Now, most importantly, it would not be out-of-state actors that are coming in and disrupting and destroying the economy and small businesses even more than they were already destroyed by the pandemic. These are not local people doing this. These are people who are highly trained, many of them. At least some of them are from out of the country. It's already been stated that some of them are. Now, in Minneapolis, there are two different press conferences that I watched. One stated that 80% of the people who were arrested were from out of state. Another press conference said that everyone who was arrested was from out of state. As I've already mentioned, the government officials themselves are stating that this is highly organized. This is not grassroots. This is not your average person saying that what happened may have happened in Minneapolis. We don't know. This isn't your average person saying that that's not okay. Of course, racial injustice is not okay. Soros is notorious for inciting class violence and racial violence. The instigators are being paid very well to completely screw up your life. Some of the United States is basically turned into an urban war zone. If you're looking at YouTube videos, you've seen it too. Now, what you might be wondering is, has a second seal been opened? I mean, it's completely chaotic. What's going on? If you look at Revelation chapter 6, verse 3 and 4. And when he had opened the seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Now, most people interpret that to be war. And that is absolutely one interpretation. It could be war. I find the notification or the notation that it is a red horse to be very interesting because, of course, the Red Army, China. I think that is a possibility. It could be war. I think it's most likely war. However, peace is removed and people are killed. Right now, there's not a whole lot of peace in urban environments here in the United States, and there are people dying. So, could the second seal be opened? Yes, of course. However, in order for that to really be the case, we need to be seeing rioting all over the world. If you're seeing little paws and such, that's my cat. While it's easy to become US-centric, this here is not just for US citizens, friends. This is for the entire world. This is for everyone. Now, I don't watch a whole lot of news, quite frankly, because most of it's propaganda. I don't know about rioting elsewhere in the world. I do know that a lot of these bad actors that have come to the United States likely came from Libya. I know that early this year and late last year, with some of the rioting and shutting down of highways, etc. in Canada, those are people from outside of the country in Canada. That wasn't really addressed much on the mainstream media, which they should have, quite frankly. But Antifa is funded by George Soros. There are other groups funded by Soros, and there are people besides Soros funding these sorts of things. Now, if the government really wanted to shut this down, they'd stop the funding, right? If they can completely blockade funding and resources to entire countries and everyone in those countries, then they can do the same thing for this, right? So this is an op. If you read Lockstep, that is from the Rockefeller Foundation. It was published in 2010. I'll link to that video below where I discuss it and primarily just read the Lockstep portion to you. You'll find that when a world is in lockstep, which we are absolutely in lockstep. When a world is in lockstep, the next progression from where we are right now is for the populace to become violent, uneasy, to revolt against basically sanctions on their lives. And in lockstep, in that specific scenario, this happens, I think, a few years into the scenario, whereas we're just a few months into it. Why wouldn't they just escalate things? Satan knows that his time is short. So why not just go ahead and escalate it, right? Now, as I mentioned, the second seal, for most people, think it's war. However, I do want you to be open to the possibility that it could be civil unrest. I mean, a lot of people can die from civil unrest. It doesn't have to be an actual war. However, right now, if the second seal has been opened, it's not impacting the entire world. And that is something that really needs to happen, in my opinion, for a seal to have been open. It's got to happen everywhere, right? I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any opinions or thoughts on the matter, please drop a comment below. I would appreciate hearing from you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for being here, and have a most beautiful and blessed day.